Wow, this is kind of odd. Okay. So odd. Okay, so uh all right, so need to figure out how to actually embed something. Um Hey, what's going on, bud? How you doing? I'm actually doing this for the first time. I was thinking about doing a watch along for Behemoth Part 3. I haven't I'm literally just turning on the webcam. I thought I'd go ahead and, while I'm researching this, go ahead and, say, you know, just pop up and say hey to people. Basically, if you know anything about it, I don't know jack about it, honestly. So, I did Twitch stream for a while, but this is a little bit different. I normally record with OBS Studio and then go in and do any kind of editing I need um, using a video editor. But this is new to me. I could talk about Astartes if you want. That is not a problem whatsoever. My main concern is I want to be able to have it like, okay, let me see. Where am I at? Okay. I'd like to have like the window over here. It's flipped for me. Normally, um, like the way you see me on like a recording is how I'm actually sitting in relation to my computer. So it's kind of odd. It's kind of off-putting. Um, let me take a look. See if I can't. Oh, geez, what did I just do? Okay, okay, great. Okay, so let's see. Oh my God. Okay, how to do I? Well, fuck, what? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty goddamn much. Ave Emporium. What's going on, Zachariah? Zachariah. Why did I say Zachariah? I'm an idiot. Don't worry about me. I do this all the time. All right, so okay, I don't know. That's not. Okay, so basically, all I want to do, if you guys, I wish I could put like a headliner up at the top. Teach me how to do this because I'm stupid. Um, okay, so embedding you to no, that's not what I want to do. I really should have researched this before going live. I really should have researched this before going live. Oh, okay. So, mainly what I'm doing here, what does this button do? Oh, it just shows what I'm doing. Okay. Mainly what I'm trying to do right now is to figure out how to embed the video for Behemoth because that's what I'm going to be trying to do tonight. Is to somebody mentioned. No, actually, I'm not. Right now, I'm just using the YouTube tool. Is there a Let me actually open up your OBS Studio here because that's actually what I use. So let me see if I can't get that going and piggyback something into that. Because I don't know if I can actually do that. That'd be nice if I could. I might actually have to restart this. Okay, that's weird. Okay. OBS does sound easier. Let me because I know that there is a way to actually do it. I just don't quite know. Um, So this might just be something that pops. I don't know. Let me kind of get this over here so I can see that over here. I used to have this a rather disturbing setup when I was doing Twitch streaming back in the day. I actually had two monitors. Now I have one really big monitor. Let's see. How did I used to do this? Makes no sense. Okay. Um, let's see. There we go. Okay. 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 I'm not an idiot. I just need to find my stream key for YouTube, and then I'm good to go. And then I can actually do this through OBS, which would make it a lot easier for me. I'm a lot more used to that. Um, Astartes is if Astartes I would do during a live stream, but when I'm doing like a breakdown, what happens a lot is I'll get to certain points. Uh, hey, uh, SC SC Ren 99. Hi, bud. Basically, what happens when I do lore breakdowns is um, I have been wrong before. I don't like to be wrong. So what with a star taste, it's actually going to be a process where I'm doing a lot of research in the middle of filming it, just so I can actually say for certain, okay, this is what this is. I don't want to put out bad information. That's just not good to do. Let's see. Okay. It might be in the settings. Let's check the settings. Uh-huh. Okay. OBS would be a lot easier though. So, blah blah blah. Actually, I need to go to my damn studio. That's what I need to do. Oh my god, they've changed YouTube Studio like 5 times since I've been since I've been actually putting out videos. Oh, okay. So there we go. Dominique. So let's see. Um, videos playlist, analytics, comments, subtitles, monetization. That's a laugh for me. Let's see. Oh, okay. So that's the question I need to ask. Okay. Yes. Long story short, the orbs are Yugoth, the Space Marines. I don't think anything really stopped the Yugoth. Um, I don't think that's what happened. Um, I just think that essentially they got thrown through the warp. Um, I didn't see anything in the video that would suggest that the Yugoth got stopped in the process. That's the only thing I disagree with you on there. Now, as far as where they got sent, I really could not tell you. I have to look into that a little bit more. Okay. So I just need to find my stream key. I'm going to have to restart the stream, which is annoying, but sorry. Um, but I'll be able to push it through OBS instead of trying to go through YouTube service, which makes things a lot simpler. Uh, hey, St. Ironfist, how's it going, bud? Okay. To find my stream key on YouTube. No, actually, well, the UVOth, it'd be very very easy. Like it with the UVOth, it'd be very extremely easy to ascribe them to the actual orbs, the constructs, things like that. Um, just like with the chapter, the Retributors that he came up with for this, it'd be very easy to sit there and start like speculating about it. Like um I didn't know that he made them. I didn't know that he put that together as his own little custom chapter. So I was sitting there the day that I actually did the first breakdown on Astartes. I didn't know exactly who they were. So what I was doing is I was speculating on, okay, who are they? Who's their parent chapter? Who what kind of iconography we're looking at? Who could possibly these people be? And then pretty much immediately after I put out the video, I found out that okay, they are Rogel's kids. Okay, let's see. I do not need that one on there. I do not need that there. Like I'm re. Oh, there we go. Perfect. The Marines' names are on their shoulder pauldrons. That would be odd. That would that would be odd. Um, I didn't see anything like that, but at the same time, the concept of them having their name on their shoulder pads, it would be the first chapter I've ever seen to actually do something like that. Normally, what you see on shoulder pauldrons is unit identifiers, rank identifiers. Um, oh, really? It was. Okay, I'm gonna have to really go take a look at that. That's awesome. Yeah. You know what? Once I get that before I actually start the stream for Behemoth, we'll bring up Astartes and we'll take a look at that because I want to see that. That just sounds so wild. But at the same time, with the amount of detail that he put in there, I would not be shocked. I would not be surprised. Okay, so let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. When I do a breakdown on a video, like I'll watch a video and then um, what I'll do is I'll watch it several times. Like sometimes I'll watch a 30-second segment. Um, he's just that good. All right, so let's see. I don't want to mess this up, so okay, I'm live on there. All right, so okay, manage. Oh God, this thing sucks. Okay, okay. Oh, okay. I got like 3 web pages up right now trying to look at it, trying to figure out how to get this thing on OBS. Okay, stream settings tab. God, I really should have researched this before I went live. I'm an idiot. Don't worry about me. Like I legitimately should have researched this before I went live. Okay. Okay. Oh, I should be able to do this from here. I can't do this from here. Let's see. Um, damn. Okay, can you guys hear me good right now? Because no idea. What am I doing with my day? What's wrong with me? Options. Advanced settings. Let's go. Okay, good. Hey, Sotha, what's going on, bud? I'm live. Yes, I know. Actually, right now, what I'm trying to do, this stream's going to get shut down as soon as I figure out how to do it, and then I'm going to restart the stream. Um, and the reason being, right now I'm going through YouTube's streaming service, which I did not put the I thought that I'd be able to embed the video just like I normally do with my standard streaming, but that's not the case. So I'm trying to figure out how to get this done right now. Mainly, I'm looking for a stream key on here, and that is proving to be a very massive annoyance. So until I figure out what's going on. Okay, so let me. I feel like I haven't explained it. I feel like I haven't explained it well enough. Normally, my schedule throughout the week is I go into work at about right around 2:30. That's normal. I get off at about 11 o'clock. I come home. I'm up till about 7 in the morning. My wife usually goes to sleep about 2 o'clock. So normally I'd get. Yes, I don't want to call up Helbrick. My ears just got done ringing from the last time I listened to that podcast. But normally I get home at about 11. I hang out with my wife for about 30 minutes, and then I come in here and I'd sit down. I take a look at my comments page. I take a look at my studio page, check all that stuff out, and then I decide on something to stream on, or I decide to do a breakdown, something like that. Normally it's the comment sections that drive it. Pacific time zone sofa. Um, but when the coronavirus first started, they had to move me because of my position where I work. They needed somebody to be in my position during literally the graveyard shift. So my schedule is no longer, that go in at 2:30, get off at 11, come home, sit down, and then I'd have like 3 hours to sit there, make a video, or do a lot of research while making a video, something like that, where I could do the breakdowns, things like that. Now instead of that, I'm going in at 12 o'clock at night and getting out at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I get home, everybody's asleep. And people don't normally start waking up here until around noonish. And if something has to get done, um, at that point, you know, I'm sitting there going with, okay, am I going to be able to do a video? Am I going to be able to do a lot of editing? Am I going to be able to do a whole bunch of anything else? Yeah, it's just like that. You asked that question in the comments, and I almost sat there and started making a massive response to it. But I thought if I was going to be doing a live stream tonight, I could actually address that question, Kruger. Okay, so you got to be thinking about exactly. There's a lot of factors in that. You have to give me some numbers here. You have to give me some sort of scenario because what you have is you have the Deathcore Krieg, and then you have the Iron Warriors. Now, if it was pre-heresy Iron Warriors, hands down, hands down Iron Warriors. But if we're not talking about pre-heresy Iron Warriors, there is a massive difference between pre-heresy Iron Warriors and post-heresy Iron Warriors. I mean, that's really the big difference, and it would the biggest factor is who would be writing the book that it was detailed in. That's the largest factor in it. Um, in any given scenario, you could pit one force against another force, and one force would come out on top, depending on the situations that you put in place. But it's like I said, it really depends on the the um the situation that is in. Um, well, basically, you're pitting the two sides against each other on. Now, I've been looking for this stupid stream key forever. Okay, the stream setting. Look underneath the label. Blah 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 blah. That sucks. I'm looking at the stupid thing. All right. Okay. Yes, Black Library is very inconsistent with how some of these are written. In fact, um, even though I don't like the Ultramarines based off how they're portrayed in some ways, the only book where it was one of the best books I've read in the Horus Heresy series. One of the best books I've read in that series is actually Mark of Calth. Um, and the reason behind that is because of how both sides were portrayed and how both sides showed what eventually happens. Eventually happen as the um, chaos started to break down. The Ultramarines fell back on their training. You're thinking of it as a sort of a Siege of Rack scenario. Who is on what side, and how many are we talking? 1,000 Iron Warriors versus how many Death Corps? Okay, what is this? Okay, okay. If this actually worked, when I load this up on OBS and I you know get back to uh, doing halfway dissing, I might actually start doing this when I am able to a lot more. I kind of like this. Okay, so this thing says this, but I'm not seeing that at all. Um, I'm like legitimately not seeing what this thing says I should be seeing. Okay, webcam. No, I don't want to see. Okay, so let me. Oh, jeez. I don't want to. Okay, I'll make do it like that. All right, so let's see if I can get this thing going on this. Oh, okay, so that's why. That's why. Oh, okay, so here we go. Copy that. Paste that. Apply there. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and shut this stream down. Well, okay. Speculation question. Do you think in TTS the Emperor will wait to have all the other loyalist Primarchs in the room to hold back madness of rustling me for the first time in the show? No, I actually don't. I have a thought of what's going to happen when Russ reaches the Imperial throne room. But I'm not sure. So we'll see. Okay, so that's what I was asking you, Kruger. I'm gonna do this for a little bit longer, and then shut down the stream, and then we'll go to that. So, okay, Kruger, basically what I'm wanting to know is is the Death Corps of Krieg actually assaulting defended positions held by the Iron Warriors, or is the Iron Warriors assaulting Death Corps of Krieg? And how many Iron Warriors are you talking about? And here's the better question: does the 88th Siege Army have a competent commander? Because the first commander that they had during the Siege of Rex was so fucking incompetent, he couldn't. Okay, Krieg's assaulting, but the first commander that they had during the Siege of Rex literally couldn't piss without wetting his shoes. I mean, he was fucking worthless. So, would Death Corps Krieg have a competent commander? 10,000 strong. 10,000 strong Iron Warriors versus Death Corps of Krieg. 88 Siege Army around 8 million Death Corpsmen. 6.5 million and a whole bunch of auxiliaries, a lot of siege artillery, a lot of things like that. 3 lines of defense. Vrax had 3 lines of defense. Kruger, would you allow swapping out of Imperial Rush? That's going to be something that takes me a little bit to actually do. Kruger, would you allow for the switching of Imperial Guard IG equipment for Astartes equipment, um, in the terms of the vehicles used for the defense? Yes. Okay. In that instance, the Iron Warriors would win, and the reason I say that, um, the reason I say that is because the Iron Warriors at 10,000 strength, um, at 10,000 strength, they would simply crush the Death Corps back to their landing zones within moments. It would not be that much of a fight. It would not be. And the reason behind that is you're talking Predator siege tanks, you're talking um, all these things that the Iron Warriors are used to doing. And the reason Vrax went on for the way it was is 2 reasons. Until the Alpha Legion got involved, Vrax was a shit show on both sides. You had an Imperial commander that could not. See you later, scene. You had an Imperial commander who couldn't button up his own shirt without assistance, and then on top of that, you had a um, defending army. Yes, Iron Cribal babies would win. You had a defending army that was fairly incompetent, but had some rather decent commanders. But if you took the Iron Warriors and put them in that position, you'd have a human army, even in the amount that we're talking about with the 88th Siege Army. Yeah, you'd have six a low side conservative estimate 6.5 million Death Corpsmen attempting to assault 10,000 Astartes. Now, with the regular infantry that was up against the Death Corps, um, they could not sit there and go attrition style warfare against Krieg. But the problem is when you're comparing Iron Warriors in that facet, most of Krieg's weapons would not do jack shit to the Iron Warriors. So the Iron Warriors would literally, instead of sitting there and like playing attrition warfare against the 3 barriers of defense that were at Brax, the Iron Warriors would literally be able um the Iron Warriors would literally be able to spearhead to the Death Corps' landing sites, and that is giving the Death Corps the full year that they had to set up their landing sites and set up their modes of operation. Black Templars win versus Salamanders every fucking time. But basically, the Iron Warriors would be able to spearhead all the way up into the landing zones. How about 100 strong versus a couple of thousand cultists? No. At that point, the Death Corps would be able to whittle that down. Any basically, it comes down. It Okay. SOC, do me a favor. Do me a favor, SOC. Um, if you see somebody ask a question, copy it down, and when I ask next question, can you paste that in there and just pop it up? Because I'm seeing a bunch of questions that I want to answer, and I just don't have any way to. I don't even have a notepad in front of me. I should have done that. Okay, so what you were saying, 100 Iron Warriors, and I'd even give you a million cultists. The Death Corps would win. And the reason the Death Corps would win against 100 Iron Warriors, or even I'm even saying up until around 500 to 800, is because of artillery. And the reason I say that is because the only way the Death Corps would be able to basically put down the kill on the Iron Warriors in a Siege of Iraq situation is to literally suppress them with artillery until they were fucking dead. And that's it. That's the only way they could do it because Death Corps Creek small arms are not going to do jack shit to even Mark III plate. It's not happening. Um, the only time that happens is tabletop, and even then, everybody just looks at it like, "Fucking really?" Okay. Um. Hey, and how you doing, bud? Yenikev. How you doing, bud? Was the commander of area sabotaging the operation? Um, when it came to Vrax, he stepped in. It's not known when the Alpha Legion stepped in Vrax, but it is known the Alpha Legion was involved in Vrax. Let's see. Black Templars and Salamanders get murdered. Um, Blood Ravens are loyalist Thousand Sons. I just putting it right there. They are loyalist Thousand Sons. There's they and GW needs to fucking decide just to come out and say it because it's getting rather annoying at this point. Since the Blood Ravens were invented, every single sign shows them to be closer and closer to Thousand Sons. You could actually argue that they are an amalgamation of. You could actually argue that they're an amalgamation of. Oh, jeez. Oh, come on. Why am I an idiot right now? Blood Angel and Thousand Sun. And the reason I say that is because a lot of their battle tactics and their iconography. But they are, at least in part, well, not that, Sotha. Have you read or have you read anything from oh God. Have you read Prospero Burns? No, it's Prospero Burns or I think it's Prospero Burns. Have you read that yet? How many chapters still have a Gloriana class battleships? Not many. I think the only ones that still would have had access to Gloriana class battleships are probably second founding at the latest, and there are second founding that would not have. Well, Sotha, in the book, the what wound up happening was yes, the Black Templar do have one, the Eternal Crusader. It's not clear if they have more than one, but the Eternal Crusader is their flagship, where High Marshal Hubrecht lives. Sotha, in one of the books is in one of the books in the Horse Heresy, there is a psyker who is not quite is not the Eternal Crusader is not a fucking fortress monastery. Only weak conformists conform to the will of a book. Okay, so basically, what wound up happening was space boats. So basically, what happened was in the book, there is a young psyker who has premonitions of the future, and the Corvidae seers of the Thousand Sons at that point were having trouble seeing into the future, but she could. So they didn't understand. They were trying to glean as much information as from her as they could, and in the process, they literally fucking murdered her. This was after, like, Magnus already knew at that point that there was going to be problems. He already knew that he had destroyed something that the Emperor was working on. So in that regard, he pretty much shut all the sons out. His intention was to let. He knew the space wolves were going to be coming. He hadn't told any of his sons. In fact, he had killed one of his sons. But what wound up happening was he had it to where well, he didn't do shit. He was just sitting up there moping in his tower, just waiting for Lehman Russ to come and kill him. But the Corvidae cult of the Thousand Sons went down to where this woman was and literally opened her up to the warp. And when she was open to the warp, she began just tossing out prophecies like nobody's business. And one of them, at one point, she said something to the effect of the ravens, I see them too. Um, they're constantly looking for their father and they look for knowledge that is denied. Um, be careful about the toads on your head. And this is how I know that you're part of the Raven Guard SOC. The perfect loyalist, Fulgrim clone. Christ. Um, that that was I don't really know what to say about that. I honestly don't. I haven't read it yet. I haven't read that book yet. You'd be surprised. I'm still going through all the Horus Heresy. I have not even touched the Dark Imperium yet. I haven't even touched it. How many Traitor Legion Loyalist chapters are there? 0. The reason behind that. Okay, so let me give you a good example, Griffin, of mine. All right, so you have the Dark Angels, right? So the Dark Angels had a part of their legion basically turned traitor. It is their closest guarded secret. And if you watch Text to Speech, it's a massive joke that when the Dark Ages are shown, they're always hyper paranoid that somebody's going to find out that, about the fallen. That's what they call their people. Um, oh no, Aaron, trust me. When you look at as much stuff as I do, yeah. Sotha, make him repent. How many loyalist chapters actually from Traitor Legion beside the Blood Ravens? Okay, so here's the thing, Griffin. No, in lore, in canon, no one knows where some of these chapters came from, especially during the Cursed Founding. Um, it's been speculated that it could happen, but it's not really certain. Like the Blood Ravens don't know who their Primarch was. Several successor chapters have no idea who their Primarch was. And when you look at something like the Cursed Founding, I can't remember exactly which founding it was. A Space Marines called the Cursed Founding. Chances are some of them come from Traitor Legions, but as far as that being knowledge, something that's known, no idea. No clue whatsoever. That's part of the whole problem with it. Yeah. Literally, what Sofa said. It is canon, but all but name. Did the Iron Warrior loyalists who sided with Gilliman start their own chapter? Um, who are the two missing Primarchs? I'm pretty sure one of them is SOC Hobbit. Um, the Iron Warriors loyalists who sided with Gilliman. I have not gotten far enough in the Horus Heresy series yet to find out what happened with them. Now there were even on Terra at the time of the heresy, there were members of Traitor Legions that were on Terra, and they had no damn clue whatsoever what was going on. Yes, SOC, you're now one. You're the 19th Primarch. Um, but Griffin, what probably is going to wind up happening with those in lore terms is they're going to be absorbed into another legion. It's not like it hasn't happened before. In fact, it's been it wouldn't surprise me that much that happened. Um, typically, if even in today in the 41st millennium, What would wind up happening if a chapter was basically destroyed almost. Let's say they're down to next to 40 members or something like that. They could choose to subsume themselves into another chapter. Typically, if they did that, they'd want to find somebody who was underneath their same Primarch, but it wouldn't be the first time it happened in lore that chapters had been brought in. 42 now. What do you mean? What do you mean 42? Oh. But yeah, basically you'd be looking at a situation where um, now it's funny that Kruger says who are the two missing Primarchs. One of them at least, one of them at least, his that missing Primarch's Legion had something to do with a massive spike of new recruits that came into the Ultramarines, which is why the Ultramarines were the largest legion, one of the largest legions at the time of the heresy. You think we'll get something substantial on the two missing Primarchs? Or Games Workshop keep course with making them irrelevant? um, SOC, I'll be starting up a new stream for Behemoth. Once in about I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna cut this part off at about an hour, and then I'm gonna set up the new stream for that and just make sure everything's going good. Um, no, I do not think. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, so let me make sure I get this right. Yes, so we're in the 42nd millennium now. I'll come back to the Primarch questions. THQ and Relic are the two missing Primarchs, and Oculus Imperium. I have not watched him. I'm going to have to start. Um, I've had him recommended too many times not to, so I'm definitely going to. Somebody else also said something about the Templin Institute. I love the Templin Institute. I actually played Stellaris, and I love their Greater Terran Union thing. I think that was just so damned interesting. Um, as far as who I watch for lore shorts, um, our favorite Norwegian, that's definitely one. 40K Theories is another. For my favorite battle in 40K history, Imperial Victory or Imperial Defeat. You really have to look at that. My favorite in terms of just what happened um, would definitely be the Isfahan 5 drop site massacre. Just based off the things that happened in that and just the amount of shit that surrounds it. As far as victory, oh wow, what would I say for that? What would I say for victory? Um, well, it's kind of a did they win? Did they not? Damocles Gulf Crusade. Yes, he who shall not be named. He is wrong about a couple of things, but it's like, it, like the things he's actually wrong about is so inconsequential compared to the amount of things he gets right. And the best part about him is he's funny as fuck. So, like, this is my. You've heard me. If you've been a long time person on the channel, you know I have an MP3 player. But if I power this thing on, still coughing a little bit. The Last Stand of the Crimson Fist. Yeah, legitimately. But yeah, Tau Empire, Tau Conquest or Subversion, 40K Lore had the Tyranids. I have half of this shit on my right there. I just like during that battle they just turned on their fucking engines and threw. That was ridiculous. The one book series that they have put out that I fucking cannot stand is The War of the Beast. I hate that thing. I hate it. Oh, okay. All right. So, um, aside from that, like the Damocles Gold Crusade, I have thought about doing a series on that because I don't know why people keep on comparing the Tau to pretty much everything else. Like, oh, they're the same. No, they're fucking not. They're like a gnat. I'm not sure why everybody flips shit about the Tau. I'm really not sure. There's planets that have more population than the Tau species has as a whole. Favorite demon engine? Um, oh god, oh god. I'll have to get back to you on that one. Um, as far as factions, I really know shit about. Um, Chaos Demon Ninjas. That's just not something like I can pull off the top of my head. Um, trying to think and I can't. Sorry, bud. Um, question: have you read Warhammer? No, I haven't. I love fan. See, this is the one thing I absolutely love. Thomas the Demon. That's great. The one thing I love about 40K more than anything else is how you can put your own shit together if you want to. That's the one thing I love about it the most. You can do whatever you want with it. You can have as much fun as you want with it. That is literally the best thing about 40K. Um, yeah, there are no brakes on that train. That's the one thing I really enjoy about it. Um, what are your thoughts on the Retributors? Are literally there was okay, so I've said it before and I'll say it again. I am extremely concerned about the thought of 40K going mainstream in major TV shows and film. And the reason I'm worried about that is because I do not want my 40K dumbed down. In fact, when I talk to people about it, when I'm talking about 40K, telling them about this thing that I fucking love, I'll say quite frequently, if they make a show about 40K and 15,000 people are dead at the end of the first episode, I'm not interested anymore because yeah. Um, but one of my main concerns was if you take a look at Astartes, the one thing it did better than anything is it gave me something to literally show people this is what they're capable of. This is what they can do. This is how easy it would be for them to just literally go through shit. And yeah, it's what I wanted to see. The other thing that I wanted to see was the death of hope. The death of hope was literally I will if I'm saying, hey, check this out, I'll show them Astartes first, just to show them what they're capable of, and then I'll show them Death of Hope, just to show them how fucked up it can be. And I really love the look in people's eyes when I tell them the shit that you see right here is common on you know is like common for chaos. This isn't even anything out of the ordinary. This isn't anything extreme. This is normal for them. Yeah, Star Wars treatment sofa. Star Wars, especially the last three movies, and I don't want to talk about them. Um, when I was actually making the video Kruger, the first couple of breakdowns I did, I said that the Retributors reminded me of the Black Templars, and if you swapped out the Black Templars penchant for melee weaponry and swapped it out for range, they would be kind of similar, minus the religious iconography, oath papers, and things of that nature. But yeah, it made a lot of sense to me. Uh, their goddamn necks aren't necessarily a bad thing. Okay, so the town will get their shit pushed in the moment they meet a major force. However, what's happening with the Death Guard, but that should be hilarious to see. The Damocles. This is my favorite thing about the Damocles Golf Crusade. It came 100 years after the town thought that it was going to come. 100 years after the town thought it was going to hit, it hit. And when it hit, it was the end of the fucking world for the Tau. And it was the perfect thing to show somebody. It's like, this is your fantasy universe. This is 40K. This is everything the Tau have to offer to try to stop these bastards, and this is literally the smallest, most hastily thrown together, least successful, and shortest crusade, period. It was a crusade in name only. It wasn't really a crusade. It wasn't shit. The Damocles Gulf Crusade consisted of one Titan Legion, a couple of hundred Astartes, and a couple of million Imperial Guard. That is literally fuck all nothing in the grand scheme of things. And it almost destroyed the Tau. It almost destroyed them. All right. It's perfect because anytime I hear somebody, that the old thing, who who would win the Galactic Empire versus this. I actually had this was one guy that I worked with one time, massive Star Wars fan, started to talk about how all the Federation would stand up to all the. I was like, are you out of your fucking mind? It's like you lost 9 million troops during the Dominion War, and your whole entire civilization was on the verge of falling apart. 9 million deaths in 40K is a fucking food riot. The, it was not. It was not even an expeditionary fleet that went to Damocles. It wasn't even it was barely worth considering. Um, it was a tiny. Just it's the amount of force they sent was minuscule compared to what they could have. Um, that's kind of the reason I want to do a series on the Damocles Gulf. But yeah, Kruger, the two orbs. Now, the creators said that they're a species that he made up, and that came earlier in the live stream. But if you were looking for something close to him, everybody was talking about the Yuzan Vong. Oh yeah, Yuvoth. And okay, so we're gonna get ready. I'm gonna get ready to actually do this correctly. And have I played Inquisitor Martyr? Not yet. Not yet at all. Um, actually, what I'm playing right now is Bannerlord. Alpha Legion? No, no, no. Alpha Legion is loyalists. Okay. Okay. What are y'all talking about? I got a feeling I'm reading something out of context here. For the Emperor. That was such a fucking great book. Okay, I gotta say this about Alpha Legion. The Alpha Legion is literally the most whacked out what the fuck thing that you've ever read, or they're literally Dick Dastardly from Wacky Racers. They are. That's it. I mean, they're one or the other. They're one or the other. Blah, blah. Um, but yeah, they're either one of the two. They're either Dick Dastardly from Wacky Racers, or they're like literally James Bond on steroids and crack at the same time. They're fucking crazy, and it really depends on the writer. Okay, I'm gonna shut the stream down. I'll be back in probably 10, 15 minutes, and then we're gonna watch Behemoth. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. I'll be back in a little bit.